Yo, what is up? Welcome back to our stream, and today we're gonna be, oh my god, what? I'm gonna be, reacting some videos on the internet. Um, so basically, we're gonna start off with, this video, how to ruin your college life instantly, bro. I saw this and I wanted to watch it immediately because I don't love watching people get arrested because it's weird. If I said that, that sounds like I'm kinky. Point is, basically, it's interesting to watch how people react when you get arrested because, it's just like, what would I do? I'm an innocent civilian, so I'm not getting arrested on a daily. Well, I say that, that just makes it sound like I do get arrested. I don't. I do not get arrested. I don't plan on getting arrested, never been pulled over, I'm an innocent civilian. So, I just, like, it's interesting to look at these situations and think, what would I do if I was in this situation? How would I handle it? It's also a learning experience. Also, it's just interesting to see how people are. And based off this title, I'm guessing that this person's going to do something stupid. Also, I should mention, I'm in college, so I feel like it'd be very interesting to see how you could ruin your entire college life over getting pulled over by cops. I don't know.
I'm sorry, hello?
Hi, miss. I'm Officer Costa with Crystal Lake Police Department. We're just talking to you because we got a couple complaints that you might have been swerving on the road, or
I don't think I was.
you don't think you were.
No.
Maybe it was a phone. You're on your phone or for something. Or
No, I'm just a bad driver.
Oh,
you're
okay. There's no, okay. It's just funny. Because it's like, dude, if you're a bad driver, if you're swerving on the road regularly without taking drugs or being distracted in any way, dude, that's beyond bad. You just don't deserve a license. I don't know how you got a license. The reality is, getting a license from, at least in the United States, is a joke. It is literally as simple as drive down a road, a somewhat busy road, and turn a couple side streets. Oh, boom, you got a license. I mean, that's it. That's at least my experience. It's like, dude. So, it's not surprising.
a bad
driving
driver.
test twice.
Okay.
I'm.
Okay.
Trust me, I'm trying to drive nice.
Hey, we need you to step out, okay? You're gonna come and talk with us over here, okay? All right, my dear. Here, put your butt right against there. This officer is gonna ask you some questions, okay?
So have you been drinking at all tonight? No. You just maybe on your phone or something?
Maybe, yeah.
Where are you coming from?
What do you mean, maybe?
Harry,
I don't like how this person's talking. Makes me angry. Maybe I was? Dude, okay, this is what always makes me angry when I watch these types of videos. It's like, dude, if you want to not um have the situation get worse, realize that either A, you tell the complete truth, or B, you don't tell the truth and you stick to that. There's no like maybe or oh, I don't know. Like no, just it just makes it like now it's like if you want to try to change the story, you can't because you screwed yourself by saying maybe. Because that implies, oh, you probably did.
I'm on my music a lot.
Your music? Okay. Do you have your ID on you?
I can check.
I just need to look at where you're reaching, my dear. It's right there? Okay.
Oh,
All
I'm
right, you
sorry.
good?
Yes, I'm
Okay.
sorry. I'm just stressed.
All right,
I don't.
why are you
Why are you
so...
stressed?
Because I've been pulled over like once before.
Okay, here, put your butt right back there, okay?
2004. How old does that make you?
That makes me 18.
18. Okay.
What's your
Wait,
first
when
name?
was
Ellie.
this? Oh, 2022. Okay. That's crazy.
Ellie? Hey, Ellie. Do you know what time it is right now? Go without looking. Guess.
What kind of question is this?
6:30.
Okay, it's right now it's 7:15. Is there anything that you did today that you think in terms of medications, alcohol, prescribed, not prescribed drugs, weed, anything like that that you took today that you think would impair your driving?
No,
Okay. Have you had any alcoholic beverages today?
no. I have been sober for 6.5 months.
Okay. What about marijuana? Any marijuana today? Okay. When was the last time you smoked marijuana?
I'm sober from alcohol, but not marijuana. But
Okay.
marijuana was probably like yesterday or 2 days ago.
Yesterday or 2 days
But
ago?
I
Okay, this is gonna sound a little oblivious, but does marijuana actually impair your driving skills severely? Because from what I understand, it doesn't, but I don't know. I don't actually know. I could research this. Whatever. Let's research it. I don't know how to spell. Impair your driving skills. Ignore my spelling. Skills? Okay, I had to look down at the keyboard. It's embarrassing. Can slow reaction time, impair judgment of distance, and decrease coordination. Oh, I see. I didn't know that. I've always just assumed that it was just like, oh, why would you? Okay, so there's a reason why now that they've had a law of like, oh, if you're high, you go to jail. I never understood that because I was like, oh, that seems silly. But okay, I guess that makes sense.
I don't think it would impair my driving today.
Okay. All right. So since you've been at Target, you have not consumed any alcoholic
No.
beverages. Okay.
No.
And not since.
And they could check the cameras and see that I
Okay.
didn't.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is there anything illegal that you may have in the car?
No.
Okay. So you have no alcohol in the car?
No.
Okay. No cannabis, weed in the
No.
car? No prescription medication?
Oh, okay. I was gonna say, why would it be illegal to have alcohol when she's 18? I've heard these Europeans talk about how, oh, dude, well, America's stupid because you can drink and you can only drink after 21, bro. I've been drinking when I was 14. I'm just like, dude, why do you want to poison yourself? That's what alcohol is, poison. I mean, not fully, obviously, but in a way it basically is because if you have too much, you basically ruin your whole day. Like, you're screwed. I don't know. It just seems ridiculous that it's normal to drink this stuff. Obviously, in small amounts, it doesn't matter, but even then, it like affects your brain and negatively impacts your coordination, all that. It's like, dude, why would I want that? Why would I want to drink something that supposedly also tastes awful? I've never really, I mean, I've had like a sip of beer, I think, and I did not like it. So, but that's it, and it's just like, why would I want something where it's like, oh man, it messes me up, can make me forget everything, changes my personality, makes me way slower. What?
Not prescribed to you
No.
or any other drugs in the
Do
car?
like, what's it called? What's it called when you take things that are like extra vitamins for you?
Like multivitamins?
Kind of, but like,
Nothing.
If it's something like over the counter,
yeah, it's
we're
like
not
over
talking
the
about
counter.
like
They
that.
sell them at Target.
Yeah,
but
That's not.
supplements. That's what it's
Supplements,
called.
okay.
Yes,
Are you
I've taken
serious?
some supplements.
Again,
but
our concern is we had 2 people call in saying that you were swerving on the road, and we just wanted to make sure you're okay to drive.
And stumbling.
That's why.
Okay.
That's why.
After they saw you get out of your car.
I promise you, I am.
So
You
I.
could literally call my boyfriend.
So
and I
I
can tell you
really-
how clumsy I am.
So here's the deal, though. Okay, I appreciate it. All right, I appreciate what you're saying to me. However, we have a little bit of a problem. Okay, so I'm gonna give you an opportunity to be honest with me. Okay, because when you opened your door, I saw the bottle of vodka that's in your driver's side of your door.
I don't have any.
Okay. Well, I saw it.
Well,
Hold on. I don't want you reaching in your car. Okay.
you could open the door.
Okay,
and
I'll
see
open
it.
the door. You can stand with Officer Costa.
Oh,
right
why
here.
would
Just-
you allow that? Why would you consent to? Okay, yeah. I mean, it's not like it matters because they'd probably just consent, like, search the vehicle anyways, but still.
Saying I don't have a bottle of vodka on my side door.
Okay,
and you
so
can open
you're
that and
okay
look at
with
it.
me opening and looking?
Yes.
Maybe she saw it wrong or something. Okay?
Yes,
We're
she
just-
can
we're just
open
checking, okay?
and look at it. Okay.
So, okay. So now we have a problem. Okay.
Well, I don't know what that is.
I have a really big problem.
What?
Okay. Now we're not cool.
Why?
Okay. And I'll explain to you why we're not cool. Because I saw it there.
I promise
Okay.
you, it wasn't
Here.
there.
That looked like a water bottle
Here,
to me.
everything's on video, okay?
Okay.
So now what we're gonna do is I'm gonna have you stand by with these officers and I'm gonna search your vehicle.
You don't
okay?
have the warrant to do that.
Actually, I have probable cause because I observed alcohol.
You
and
don't have warrant to do
because
that.
I observed
I have a
alcohol.
right
I
to not let you
observed-
search my car.
Okay, so
I have a right to not let you
Unfortunate-
search my car.
This is a problem with rights, dude. It's like people think they have rights in situations they don't. Like, I mean, to be fair, I think most people would think that. Like, even I probably would think that, but at the same time, it's like, if they see something that's illegal, it's like, why would it make sense for them to be like, oh, well, there's nothing we can do now because she said no? Like, dude, that'd be a dumb law. Like, imagine if they saw, like, a bunch of, like, I don't know, RPGs in the car. It's like, oh, well, now we need to see these RPGs and anything else. Like, and then the person's like, no, you can't see my car. What are they supposed to do? Just walk away? Like, that's stupid.
Unfortunately,
No, I have a right to not let you search my car.
We're not doing this.
I have a right
Ellie,
to not let you search my
Ellie,
car.
Ellie.
We're not doing this.
don't.
Come on, let's go. Get back.
You know my rights,
not
and
touch
you
me.
know I have a right to
Do
not let you
touch me.
search my car.
Okay, listen,
There's a
I
little
don't.
weed in the center console. There's a pipe I see.
Yeah, and
What's it
listen,
say? In oh, okay. The vehicles may be searched without warrants if the officer undertaking the search has probable cause to believe that the vehicle contains contraband. Okay. A court explained that the mobility of vehicles would allow them to quickly move from jurisdiction if time were to. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm thinking. Like, dude, it's like the whole warrant thing, dude. You could easily just get rid of the stuff and when you drive off. Like, that's ridiculous. At least with a house, it's like, well, even then, but it's like with the car, dude, you could just also drive that car away or throw it into a lake or something. I don't know if you really wanted to.
they don't have a right to search my car.
Listen to me.
They don't. I've been
Listen to me.
I've been pulled over before, and I know you don't have a right to search my car.
Chill out, okay?
I know
Because
you.
I don't want to have to put you in handcuffs right now.
I know
Oh,
you
she's
don't have a right
freaking out.
to search my car.
You need
It's
to
an
relax.
exception to the law. It's called a mobile conveyance.
You guys looked in my car before you have the right to search my car,
Listen.
and you saw the weed,
Listen.
and so you don't have a right to search my car.
It's also plain view. Yes.
Listen.
You don't have a right to search my car.
I do.
No, you don't.
Okay, so
no,
Ellie-
you don't.
Ellie-
Okay, yeah, but literally earlier you said look in the car, bro. Dude, open the door. That's what you said. You're an. God. Again, I'm siding with her now because I mean, the thing is if I was in this situation, I would not be like I'm criticizing someone when I would be in that situation. I'd fumble because if I knew that had someone in in the car that's illegal, bro. There's like yeah, I'd fumble every situation like chance I had to have actually like getting away with it, obviously. And I wouldn't think straight, so I can't blame this person. Plus, she's probably on something. But, like, dude, at the same time, it's like you gotta point out, like, this is stupid. You literally gave consent. What? Oh my god. No, no, no. Okay, whatever.
Ellie,
Ellie,
do
we don't
not
want to put you
touch
in
me like
handcuffs.
that.
I'm telling
Just-
you.
I'm
just
gonna tell you
cooperate with
all
us
the
and-
time, dear.
I'm
Don't
telling
touch
you
me
for a
like
fact
that.
you don't have a right to search my car.
So listen to me. This is gonna go one of two ways, okay? I would rather not put you in handcuffs. I don't want to put you in handcuffs, okay? I don't want to. If you're cooperative, we can figure this out and work through
Why are
it.
they zooming
I'm
in on her,
saying you
bro?
can't search my car without a warrant
Well,
with seeing a bull in my car. You can't search my car without a warrant.
So I know the law. Probably.
I know the law
Okay.
because I've looked it up, and I know you can't search my car without a warrant, so I'm not allowing you
Ellie,
to.
I'm giving you one of two choices.
I know you
Ellie-
can't search my car without a warrant.
Ellie-
You guys know
Ellie-
this.
Alright,
Ellie-
alright. This is... Dude. I've never understood people who, I mean, who just, like, sit there and disagree with police. Even if I know the police officer's in the wrong, you just cooperate. That's the simple solution to all your problems. Cooperate with police even if they're wrong. Unless it's something crazy like, oh, well, they're shooting me and I literally am innocent. I don't know. But, well, you're dead, so it doesn't matter. But, like, dude, cooperate with the police and you always will be fine because if they did something wrong, you could sue them and ruin their careers. Like, dude. But instead, nope, argue with them. What a great waste of time.
These are your choices. You can go stand by that squad car with these two gentlemen, okay? That's your first choice. If you do not want to do that, your second choice is I'm going to put you in handcuffs, okay? Which
You
do you
can't
choose?
search my car without a warrant.
Which do you choose?
You
I'm going to
can't-
give you. I'm not arguing with you. I'm
You
I'm
can't.
going to give you one opportunity right now.
You can't search my
What
car
is your-
without a warrant.
Oh
Ellie, it's all on
my
body
god.
cam.
You can't search my car
Yes,
without a
we can.
warrant.
Oh
No, you
my
can't.
god.
Turn around.
Do not handcuff me.
Turn around.
We're not gonna do this. We're not gonna do this.
Chill. Turn around.
Please don't handcuff me. I'll go with them to the car.
Ellie,
I'll go with them
Ellie,
to the car right
Ellie,
now.
Ellie.
Please don't handcuff me.
Ellie.
You already spoke
Well,
about
the real question is, well, what is in there that can possibly ruin your college life? I don't know.
We gave you the option.
Don't handcuff me. I'll go to the car with them right now.
I need.
Please.
You have my hand.
I'll go to the car with them right now. Please
Ellie.
don't
Ellie,
handcuff
we're
me.
not gonna do
Ellie.
this. We're not gonna do this.
Ellie, stop. You got it.
I can't be handcuffed. Please, I'm trying to walk to the car.
Ellie,
I can't
stop.
be handcuffed.
Stop. Okay, right now you're being placed under arrest, okay? For, well, we're gonna figure it out. It's at least, we'll go illegal consumption of alcohol by a minor right now, okay? Do you have the... Stop.
Oh yeah, she's screwed by the way. I forgot she's 18, bro. Yeah, she's screwed.
Ellie,
Stop.
let's not do that.
Stop it. Stop it.
I can't be in handcuffs.
Oh jeez.
Be in handcuffs.
Stop, Ellie.
What?
Ellie, we're not doing this.
I can't
Ellie,
be
we're
in
not doing this. We're not
handcuffs.
doing this.
I think take me out of the handcuffs.
This isn't this a thing that you'd see with a child? Let's be honest. This is something you'd see with a temper tantrum in a Walmart or something from like a 5-year-old. No, give me the toy. Like, dude, yelling. Oh, don't put me. I can't be in handcuffs. Not gonna solve the problem. That's like saying, oh, I don't deserve to be in jail. And you committed a crime. Like, what? Well, I just don't want to be in jail. Like, what?
Stop. Take me out of the handcuffs then! Listen. Take me out of the fucking handcuffs! Ellie, stop. Take me out of
Did her shoes come off, bro? Oh my lord. How is that
You're
happening?
making it worse for yourself, Ellie. Come on.
Take them off! Take them off!
Listen to me. Take a deep breath. Listen to me.
Can you please take the handcuffs off?
Do you
You
understand?
have to stop screaming.
I have a scar.
Stop screaming. Stop screaming.
Take a deep breath right now.
Stop talking.
Take a deep breath.
Stop talking.
Take a
okay?
deep breath.
Deep breath. Listen to me. You can't fight with us.
I won't. Just please take me
I
out of
cannot take you out of the handcuffs because of how out of control you're being right now.
I'll sit in this
If
car.
you chill out,
I'll sit in this car if you please take the handcuffs off.
well,
me.
I cannot have you unhandcuffed. It's my policy. I can get fired for it.
I will stay
Okay.
in this car the entire time.
Well, I'm gonna need you to sit in the car anyway, but I promise. Thank you.
I just.
Okay. Chill.
You don't know.
Listen,
I didn't even do anything wrong. It was.
Ellie.
Please take off. No, do not
Okay.
buckle me.
Then I'm not gonna buckle.
Please take off the handcuffs because I can't with handcuffs. Please, please.
So what from I understood, she said she got scarred from them. It's like, dude, like, just like realize you could solve that problem by not being illegal.
You have to chill out.
Please take off the handcuffs.
Okay.
Please.
Right now, I can't. You know why?
I'll sit here if you take off the handcuffs.
Okay.
If not, I'll run out.
Ellie, listen to me, okay? Because of everything that just happened, I need to ensure that you're safe. How about we try to do some breathing, okay?
He can buckle me up if you take off the handcuffs, please.
Sweetheart,
he can't buckle
sweetheart,
me
I
if not.
cannot.
He can't buckle me
Okay,
if not.
so listen, this is the deal. If you keep fighting like this, my sergeant's on his way here, and he has this device called the wrap, and it completely restrains you.
Damn.
If you can't calm
My
yourself
God.
down the way we are now, I am gonna have to put you in that, and I don't want to do that. So we have to stop.
We ran the driving complaint.
Oh, now I get why it says ruin your college life, because this got posted on the internet. And actually, that doesn't matter. I mean, how many views does this have? Oh, Jude, please. Oh, yeah, well, you're cooked. 4 million views. You're cooked. Someone in that college probably saw it. Let's be honest. You're cooked. It's being shared around. You're cooked.
Swerving over the road, and then we stumbled across her. She entered her car, and there was
That car?
yes, vodka and a bowl in the
You guys made contact with her when she came outside, right?
correct.
Okay.
And then she was kind of combative with us.
Okay.
What if I didn't drive under the influence? What if I just drank it here?
Well,
I didn't drive under the
Well,
influence. You could
that's
breathalyze me right now and it would come up
that's-
as more recent.
that's for sweetheart. That's for you to fight in court.
okay.
okay.
I'll fight
And
that.
that- and that's
I'll
okay.
say that I was-
Okay, yeah, but... Oh, dude. I don't know. Is it illegal to, like... Okay. Is it illegal to drink in a parking lot on a public property? I don't know. I'm just gonna... In the United States. This is a serious... Okay, I can't spell, but... Okay. Yes, in most of the United States is it... Oh, by the way, this is AI. By the way, Google AI, I should just mention, is actually not bad. I used to hate on this when it first came out. Like, oh, why would I want AI to... Google AI, but to be honest, it literally gives you this, like, it just takes from exact, like, from websites. If I click this, it'll take me to a website? No? Why not? Okay, at least it cites the sources. I mean, that's better than, like, ChatGPT. You have to ask for it to cite sources. Anyway, I'm just getting off topic. It is illegal to drink alcohol in a parking lot on public property due to open container laws, which generally prohibit consuming in public spaces, including most public lots. So yeah, I mean, you're still wrong. I don't know where she lives, but I'm assuming it's in the United States, by the way.
I'm gonna have someone come pick me up here.
That's fine.
I was calling my sister.
I'm okay with that. Sweetheart, you can fight that in court, but right now you're under arrest. So this is what I have to do. I have to take you to the police department.
Please don't.
And if I take you to the police department, that's when the cuffs are going to come off quicker.
So the quicker
No! Okay.
Oh my
Listen to me. If I put your
god.
seatbelt on, we can get you there in 5 minutes and the handcuffs will come off. Sweetheart, we'll figure it all out, okay? Can I put your seatbelt on now? Can we go? Can we go to get these handcuffs off you, Ellie?
I just want to drive home.
I know. Officer Barillo is going to hand me this so I can put it on
Can
you.
you call her instead of my parents?
I will. Yes, I can. Yes, I'll call your sister for you. Absolutely. Wait, can you
I think the scary thing is she's 18. She can vote. She can drive. It's like, how are you acting like this and you can drive? I don't know. It's like, that's scary. It's scary because I can definitely see this type of person being, well, I'm not saying her in particular, but, you know, potentially being a road rager. I've always thought that it's completely ridiculous road ragers, whatever. It's off topic, but I don't know.
Phone from my car so I know what.
What else do you need? You need your phone? Do you need anything else from your car?
Just my phone.
Okay,
Please,
yes.
just
We're gonna get you to the police department so I can get these off.
Tell her to not tell my parents and
I can't wear handcuffs.
Ellie, the longer we fight, the longer you're gonna be in handcuffs like
just
this.
please take me to the station and call my sister.
If you can chill out, then good. That we're on our way.
Wait, just
Ellie.
Oh my god.
Take a deep breath, okay?
Ellie, I'm really
Like,
trying to.
seriously, this is how I'd act when I was younger, when I didn't get my way, bro. Like, dude, this is just depressing.
Prevent you from being wrapped, but you're gonna put me. You know your sister's number? Do you need your phone?
That's why they're getting my phone. I just said that, dumbass. Are you drunk? Fucking dumbass. You can't take my vapes though, because my parents buy those for me.
Oh,
You can't take those for me.
of course you
My
vape.
parents buy those for me, and I'm 18, and that used to be the age, so you can't take those from me.
You can't
What?
have it in the back seat. We'll just put it back in the car. How's that?
No, you're gonna take it then. You can't take it from me, or else you have to give me $27.
Okay.
There's a vape in between.
Oh my
So
god,
this is the
bro.
deal. I need to take the vape.
No,
Okay.
you can't.
Ellie, come on.
You can't. Then
Listen,
give me
I'm-
$27 because I just paid all my. I paid it.
I'm gonna put it in your car. Okay.
The
You're gonna
story
put it
is
on my
making
car?
no sense. Oh, the vapes were bought by my parents. Oh no, actually, I paid for them. What?
All right now. Okay.
Can I hit it first?
No, you cannot.
Oh
I'm really
my
stressed.
god.
Then you can't take it. Don't
here.
take it. Don't take it.
have-
I need it first.
But you are just playing games, girl.
No, I just want my
are.
nicotine.
Okay. Well, you can have it. I told you. I'm gonna leave it in your car.
I watched a video of this guy who he vaped for like 90 days straight, and then he broke the addiction, and he was never had like ever took substances before that, and he actually struggled to like get off of vapes. He said it was one of the worst things he tried to do ever, because basically everyone around him was like just supporting the vapes, and basically what I've seen is I feel bad for people who vape all the time because it's like, it seems like from what I understand, it's more of like a thing where it's just like once you hit it too many times, you're just addicted and there's not much you can do because you're just gonna want more and more and more. And so many people do it that it's so common for you to be like, oh, pass me a vape. I've never actually had that happen because I don't associate with idiots, but you know, it's like if you're in high school, for example, all you have to do is go to the men's bathroom. Go to vape party.
You're right. It's not illegal to possess, but
My parents bought it for me. They're 21. They can buy it, and I can have it. I just want to hit it before.
It's 21 to buy a
for
vape,
me for
really?
5 hours.
No, Jesus.
Can you please put it in my car? That's what she said.
No, because I told you not to hit it.
What? She told me it was good.
Yeah, but she also told you not to
it
hit
was
it.
gonna go in my car. Please put it in my car. I just paid $27 for that, and I'm broke as hell, and I need that. Please put it in my car.
That's addiction.
Please.
Yep.
Take a deep breath.
what's in your pants right here? Is it just your? Don't reach. Do not reach. Oh.
What?
Are we
Okay, oh my lord. Okay.
a retail theft?
No.
We're gonna pull her out.
Why?
And she's gonna search her completely, and if we have to put her back in the car and put her in the rack, that's what we're
That's
doing.
fine. Okay.
Get her out, search.
Yep.
Please.
Ellie, if you fight, I'm gonna put you in the
I
rack.
don't know what you're reaching for. Stop reaching for
I'm not
things.
reaching for anything.
Ellie, what I'm gonna do is a little bit more of a thorough search, just like.
You can't touch me.
Oh my
I
god.
give you not
Stop
permission to
Stop
touch
yelling.
me.
Ellie,
I don't
Ellie,
give you
Ellie.
permission to touch me. I don't give you permission to touch me. I don't give you permission to touch
Ellie.
me. I don't give you permission to touch me. Just because you're
This is just so embarrassing. I just like to watch. It's like I almost want to click off because how annoying she's being, bro. Oh my lord.
For yourself. You're just making it worse for yourself, Ellie.
just because you're with the law does not mean you can touch
making it
me
worse for yourself.
without consent.
You're just making it
You
worse for yourself.
can't touch me without consent.
Oh my god.
You can't touch me without consent.
I want to see this rap
You
thing.
can't touch me without consent.
Okay, you guys hold on to that.
I don't want men touching me without consent.
You lay right
Stop touching me.
Wrap her feet right
You guys are old men.
What? That caught me off guard. Old men, bro. Like, really? They don't even look that old. What?
Here, come here. Here's the touching.
Stop touching me. Stop.
Okay, I got
Keep touching me.
Hey, listen. You have to stop, Ellie.
Stop fighting. Stop fighting.
Stop fighting.
Ellie, stop fighting.
I need to for Ellie. You have to stop.
Oh my god.
Ellie, stop fighting. You're gonna work.
Let me stand up and not be hurt by these fucking handcuffs. Blue lights matter. You guys
She's in.
fucking
She's in the
suck.
leg.
You are hurting me.
Lower the buckle first.
You guys are abusing me. I'm gonna bring you all to fucking court. You asshole. I'm gonna bring.
Stop.
Oh my god. Dude, that's... Oh my god, 2 times speed again is crazy. 3 times speed? Oh my god. 5 times? Dude.
Go ahead. All right, ready? 1, 2, 3.
Set her up. Knee back, knee back.
Forward.
Knee in her back.
You fuckers.
Ellie, if you continue to dig your nails into me,
I'm gonna dig them as deep as you're digging those fucking handcuffs into me, you dick. Fuck the cops, bro. I fucking hate all of you guys.
Ellie, are you injured?
I'm gonna be honest, yeah, she deserves to go to jail. I mean, yeah, I hate people who are like this too. They'll be like, the second anything bad happens to the cop, oh, I hate cops, bro. They do nothing good. Like, dude, you did something wrong. Like, you're an idiot. Like, oh my god, I've literally met people like this who are like, oh, bro, the cops are always against me. No, they're not. They're just helping out the average civilian who doesn't need to deal with idiots.
Yes, my fucking wrist.
Okay.
Fuck you.
Double check your
Ellie,
cuffs, Ellie.
stop digging your fingernails
If
into
you
my
fight
hands.
him, he can't check your cuffs.
They hurt. They hurt.
Hold on. Ellie, if you don't stop, I'm trying to help you.
Trying to help.
I'm trying to
Let
help
go
you.
of it. It hurts.
You have to stop. You're pulling on it.
It hurts.
Okay, stop so we can fix it, okay?
Hey!
Ellie,
Hey!
Ellie, okay.
I did that.
All right, just put her in.
I did that on purpose.
Really, you can just take her straight to county.
What the?
Very funny.
What?
We gotta lift her up, put her in.
What?
Hold on, wait, 1, 2, 3.
Dude, I'm gonna fucking bring you guys to court and do something.
The fact they need like 4 or 5 police officers for one person is sad. That's like, what a waste. I mean, obviously it's needed because this is just a severe case, but like, dude, it's just sad, like, that this person, whoever she is just so, like, and crazy that they need this many people to make sure she can get into a car safely, bro. Like, dude.
It hurts.
Stop fighting.
I'm not. It hurts. It hurts. It hurts.
That reminds me, dude, oh, I don't know if I should say this, but basically, I'm gonna not say the full details, but basically, I feel like a lot of people, it seems like, tend to always exaggerate. Oh, it hurts, bro, I'm being hurt. Oh, I'm being abused, so that they can you know, they can get the police officers fired from their jobs because they're going too far. And then there'll be protests about police officers. That's what they want. I mean, if you know, you know what I'm talking about. I'm talking about 2020 riots. You know why that happened. But basically, I feel like a lot of people think like, oh, this is a genius idea. I'm gonna say I'm being abused. Oh, the handcuffs. Oh, they hurt me. Oh, please. Like, dude, you just look like an idiot. Just look like someone who's trying to get attention.
Ellie, what hurts?
My wrists and my stomach. And I told you this. I can't be in handcuffs.
And I told you that
Well, you have no option.
45 minutes ago.
Just bring me to the regular police station and call my sister, or else I will cause a fit.
Oh my god, imagine driving with that. Oh my god.
Who has my vape? Who is gonna answer? Who has my vape?
Oh my god.
My boyfriend's gonna kill me. He's gonna break up with me. Your boyfriend's gonna break up with me!
Oh my god. Bro, this person is editing so ridiculously, bro. This is at 10 times speed? How do you have the energy to sit there and scream for that long? Bro. Actually sounds like a goat. Oh my god.
Can my sister please bail me out for $100? Why are you guys answering? Why are you answering?
I feel like it's a safety hazard to drive a car with this idiot in here. Did she just roll off the seat? Okay, whatever. Okay. Dude.
I'm stuck! Help me! Help me, please! Ow! Help!
Oh my god. Dude, I'm sick of this.
Hey, Ellie, we're almost there.
Don't hit your head so you don't fall again,
Just
okay?
please get me there.
That's what we're doing.
Yeah, we're right
Will it
around
take
the corner.
$100?
Stop.
Will it take $100? Will it take $100? Can you please answer me?
We'll talk to you when you get there.
Will it take $100 for
You know what I hope? This is gonna sound crazy, but I actually hope that no one actually bails her out. Because frankly, I don't think she deserves it. I think the problem is pretty obvious. She's not been told no. So she thinks she can get her way. Like it's just fairly obvious. So if like as a family member, there's times in life where you need to realize what's best for your family or for someone you care for. In this case, even though it might hurt you, and you probably should just keep them in jail for as long as possible so that they learn their lesson.
Don't do that again.
It hurts.
I'm so sick of this.
Please let me out. Thank you. Please unbuckle this. I need to get out. I need to get out.
All right, we're gonna get you out, okay? I'm gonna put this on your head, okay?
That's crazy.
All right, hold on.
I can't breathe. I'm thirsty. Get this out of my mouth. Get this out of my mouth, please. Handcuffs off of me. Get this out of my mouth. Get this
God.
off of me.
1, 2, 3.
Like seriously, this whole time I feel like I've just been watching adults talk to a stupid little 5-year-old who's having a temper tantrum. Except it's cops, which honestly I respect the police officers because frankly they're treating it like actual and like real adults. Like they handled it really maturely in my opinion. Because honestly, if I was in that situation, I think I would lose my mind. Oh my god.
You're not gonna get anywhere like that. Okay.
Okay, bro. Oh my god.
No. When you calm down, let me know and I'll get you booked in the process and I'll get you on the phone. But you have to show me that you're gonna calm down and you're gonna behave. Okay? You will in the morning.
No, I need you right
No. So Ellie, calm down. Ellie, calm down. When you calm down.
Like seriously, this was me when I was 6. Like, and I had to do homework or something like that. It's like, or it's like, oh, you gotta do your homework. No, like that's what this is what had happened. I mean, like, Dude, it's just like, dude, are you really gonna act like a 6-year-old?
Let me know, okay? I'm here all night.
Ellie eventually provided a breath sample that indicated a blood alcohol concentration
Wait, so it's 0.024 is the legal limit, I believe. So that's what, like 2 times basically, which is crazy.
of .091. She was charged with driving under the influence, aggravated battery to a peace officer, resisting, obstructing, DUI with a blood alcohol concentration of .08 or more, illegal transportation or possession of alcohol, retail
All right,
theft.
whoa, okay, let me see that. So there's 2 different DUI charges. I didn't even know it was possible. I guess it's saying this one is more severe than this. Like, oh, if you go like 2 times above the limit. Wait, no, that's not even 2 times. That's what? Oh, wait, that's 4? I can't math. Cause what, like, yeah, it's about 4 times over. No, it isn't. Oh, never mind. Who cares? The math's not mathing. I think it's 2 times. Illegal transportation. Yeah, okay. The fact that she stole a bra is ridiculous, dude.
And illegal possession of liquor by a person under 21 years
Yeah,
old.
she's cooked.
She is innocent until proven guilty in a court of law.
Sometimes the whole innocent proven guilty is just stupid. Dude, if I see all this footage, it's public. She's not innocent anyway. I've literally witnessed her do at least like 3 of these things. Like, dude, it's on YouTube, bro. Well, obviously this happened like a long time ago. I don't know when this was published, but like a month ago. Okay. Yeah, so I mean, how to ruin your college life? I mean, obviously this video or the footage probably got published all over the place, clearly. I mean, if this video got 4 million views, I mean, just imagine the actual raw footage, how much views that got. I just, like, dude, like, now it's like, everyone in your stupid school, not everyone, but a lot of people in your school see you and be like, oh, you're the stupid crybaby. Like, dude, that's gotta be a sucky life. All because you made a horrible decision. That decision was being an idiot. Yeah, see, bro, I can't imagine having your worst moment in life being pure entertainment for the rest of the world. See, I don't think this was entertainment. I think it was just a nuisance to watch, but whatever. Whatever. If you take off the handcuffs, I'll sit in the car. If not, I'll run out. That's some mighty fine negotiating. Yeah, that did happen. I just, yeah, this is how I can't English, but basically, what the heck? How do you instantly get a 5-star Wanda level? I'm not gonna watch that. I probably should, but whatever. Alright, let's watch this. I like this already? Apparently I already watched this. I didn't even know that. Okay, well, I don't remember this. I would have remembered this because I just don't recognize this. So basically, you know, last time I did a reaction stream, I reacted to like video about like, oh, whatever. Well, yeah, dude, what a horrible intro, bro. Like, to this video, bro. The point is like, I'm trying to say, I reacted to a video of like, oh, Bigfoot's like a Bigfoot video, and I think this is what this is about, is Bigfoot, I'm gonna guess. I mean, let's look at the, I don't know. It doesn't look like anyone's see Bigfoot. So, it's probably a big video about Bigfoot, but I'm getting a lot of comments saying like, oh, you think Bigfoot's fake? Oh my God, you're an idiot. You don't do your research. So, if this does get made to a video, I will say that if you have any evidence of Bigfoot that you think is undeniable proof, please send it to me or tell me. Because otherwise, I'm just going to continue being doubtful. I'm not researching, you know, oh, Bigfoot. I'm not going down a huge rabbit hole because, you know, when I just broadly search Bigfoot, it's always like, oh, it's just like fake or really, really crappy photos. And I'm not trying to go down a rabbit hole, really deep rabbit hole, just to find real footage, like, dude. But, you know, this video could change my mind, because Mr. Ballins usually says stuff that actually, like, you know, makes me believe, so maybe this could change my mind.
People have been claiming to see this tall, hairy, ape-like creature walking around forests all over the world, but mostly in North America. That creature is commonly referred to as Bigfoot. But despite...
Okay, by the way, I'm just gonna immediately search this up. Sasquatch... Okay, why is it on caps versus Bigfoot difference? I just want to know. The same creature, but the terms have different origins. Bigfoot is a legendary, hairy, bipedal creature. It's often described ape-like. Okay, so what about Sasquatch? Oh, wild or hairy. This term was Indian Asian science. Okay, so basically they're the same thing. What's Bigfoot we know from not just another name for Sasquatch. Okay, so basically Bigfoot and the Sasquatch are the same thing. Also, okay, I know this says 2017, but dude, U.S. Department of Mythical Wildlife. I need to click on this. Oh, it's .com. Okay, so it's not .gov. So automatically, it's like, this is just not really. Okay, yeah, see at the bottom, not any go. Okay, I'm being distracted. I don't want to I don't want to spend the stream just like looking up like finding Bigfoot real stuff, but like if I go on images, like yeah, I mean, I don't know. There's this is like the closest I've seen to like real proof. You just see this every time you search up Bigfoot, and like, dude, this doesn't even look real. Like, I don't know. My thing is that supposedly there's undeniable proof that Bigfoot's real. But like, dude, where's the footage that's like perfect, like really high quality? I don't want low quality footage. I want high quality, because at least then it's like, oh, it's happened recently. I want recent footage.
The thousands of sightings that have occurred over the years and the nearly 400 news sightings of the supposed creature every year, there's never been any scientific proof that the creature actually exists.
Exactly, dude, exactly. Why is this so loud, by the way? I might have to turn this guy down. If there's, like, you think about it this way, Bigfoot's been around for way too long, and the fact scientists have never been able to identify, catch one, anything, and we've been able to catch all these other different types of species, that's very odd. Wouldn't you think?
While the legitimacy of these first-hand accounts is very much up for debate, and probably will be for some time, what's not up for debate is how absolutely terrifying some of these first-hand accounts are. And so what I did is I went out and found 2 of the most frightening encounters with Bigfoot, and I'm going to share those stories on today's video. But before we get
Alright, so I'm going to listen to these with not skepticism necessarily. I'm just going to listen to them and, you know, we'll see where this goes. That's basically what we'll see. We'll see where this goes. I mean, either way, I'm always in a good mood to listen to an entertaining story that gets me, you know, hyped up or interested. So I'm sure it's gonna be good.
To those 2 stories, if you're a fan of the strange, dark, and mysterious delivered in story format, then you come to the right channel, because that's all I do, and I upload 3, 4, even 5 times every week. If that's of interest to you, I would encourage you to steal the like button's phone and turn off all of their alarms so they're late for work tomorrow. Also, please subscribe to my channel and turn on all notifications.
Wait, so he said all the alarms? Do people actually, like, have multiple alarms to wake up? Is that actually, like, I've met people who claim that, but I've never actually, like, seen it. I don't know. It's so off topic, but dude, like, I don't get how you can't just wake up on the first alarm. Like, yeah, I get putting 10 more minutes after you wake up. Sure, like, oh, 10 more minutes and I'll actually wake up. Sure, I've done that many times, but, like, not waking up to your first alarm is crazy work. I don't know.
Don't miss any of my weekly uploads. Alright, let's get into today's stories.
Oh yeah, Ape Canyon. Ooh.
In July of 1924, Fred Beck...
Alright, so I shouldn't say anything, but I'm going to. Any story before the year, like, I don't know, 2010, well, I shouldn't even say that, 1990, let's just say 1990, I'm instantly gonna have skepticism for it, especially if it's before 1950, because there's no way you could photograph this at all, so it's just all, you know, past, like, it's just first-hand accounts, and that could be made up. Like, my thing has always been, like, you know, because there's really no way of, like, you know, like, there was no, like, internet, none of that. People, I feel like, could have easily made up stories back then just to make their life more exciting. Now, I'm not saying this is made up guaranteed immediately, but I'm just saying it's very possible.
Along with 4 other gold prospectors, stumbled out of a forest right near Mount St. Helens in Washington state. And they swore to each other that they would not tell a soul what they had seen in the mountains the night before. But literally within a few hours of making that promise to each other, one of the men had spilled the beans at a bar. Very quickly, their story would garner major national media attention and even drew some international attention as well. This is their story. So the week leading up to the men arriving back in town with this crazy story, they had been prospecting for gold in an area they were very accustomed to working in. In fact, for the past 6 years, they had been going to this spot. So it was an area they knew well. And so this particular week that they were out there had been really successful. They had found a whole bunch of gold. It was like this great run of luck and nobody wanted to leave. Unfortunately, one of the men named Fred Beck started complaining of a really bad toothache. Now, they're about 2 miles away from this town. It's very rugged terrain. It's not safe for someone to travel alone in case something were to happen. And so Fred needed one or all of these men to come back with him. None of them wanted to leave, but they were willing to compromise. And they said, let's stay here today, and then we'll leave first thing tomorrow morning. And so Fred didn't really have much of a choice, and so he agreed, and they spent the rest of the day prospecting for gold. When the sun started to go down, the men decided it was time to pack it in and head to their cabin. Now, because these men had worked in this area for the past 6 years, they had actually built a small log cabin centrally located in this area. So they could just
I'm gonna say this. I would love to be in a log cabin. That sounds so just, oh my god, that sounds great for one day. That's the thing. I would not want to be, well, actually, I mean, a couple days, but I don't know. I just, I don't know, it's just the idea of being a nice cozy log cabin, taking a nice little nap, getting a nice lakefront. Oh, beautiful. It has nothing to do with anything. Get off. Go, go.
Crash out there and continue to work and not need to commute out of the town. The cabin, though, was not built for comfort. It was built entirely for practicality. It was barely big enough to sleep all 5 men. And in fact, 2 of them had to sleep in the same bed, like right against one another, and then the other 3 had to sleep on the ground. There were no windows in this cabin. It was like this awful, like, chamber that they were trapped inside of. But it was sturdy, it protected them from the elements, and it was enough because they were out there for work, not for pleasure. So as they're walking towards their tiny little cabin, they get just outside the cabin and notice a very large footprint, like an animal print, outside the cabin. The men stop, they look down. Now, these are 5 rugged mountain men that are accustomed to being out in the wild. They've had their fair share of run-ins with large predators, and so they quickly said, oh, that's a bear print. But upon closer inspection, as they're looking at this print, they noticed it was 19 inches long. That's way too big to be a bear print.
19 inches?
And so they start speculating about what type of animal could make that print. As they're speculating, one of the men brings up that over the course of the week when he had been away from the group, a little ways away from the cabin, he had noticed a similar, not nearly as big, but a similar print.
Alright, so my immediate thing is, how could there be one print? What? Maybe he didn't say that maybe there's multiple, I missed that, I don't know. That just seems really suspicious. Like, one massive print does not add up. You can't have that happen. Like, if there's a print being made, it means that the ground is printable, if you know what I mean, in theory. So there should be multiple prints.
When he had bent down to look at the print and inspect it to see what it was, he said he heard a whistling sound coming from the forest that was right next to him. And so he stood up and he looked, but he didn't see where the whistling was.
Okay, dude. I'm sorry. The way, okay, that's supposed to be a whistle. It sounds like a bald eagle screeching, bro. Get out of here.
Was coming from, and he thought to himself, I don't know what animal makes that sound. So he's looking out, he can't see where the whistling's coming from, and then he hears whistling behind him. The same sound, but on the opposite side of him.
Bro!
He turns around and he looks, and there's nothing over there as well. And he's trying to put together in his head what animal makes that sound. He knows it's not the people he's out there with because they were way over near the cabin and he could actually see them from where he was. And he starts getting this really uneasy feeling that whatever made this huge print is probably in the woods right now watching me whistling at me.
Ooh, that's creepy to think
And so
about.
he abandons the print and heads back to camp, but was too embarrassed to bring the story up to the group in fear that
Okay, yeah, but here's the problem. How close was he to the camp? Because, in theory, if he was close enough to see the people, then they should have heard the whistle as well.
would think he was exaggerating, so he never brought it up. When this guy tells this story to the group, Fred Beck would say That's weird. I heard whistling coming from the forest too. I thought it was you guys. They
Oh,
figured
okay.
they were dealing with a large predator. They decide that it's in their best interest to forego a campfire outside the cabin, which they normally would do at night, and instead just go right inside the cabin.
Oh
and
my god, actually intelligent people. I swear I hate watching videos where these people they're like, oh, you know, there's something chasing me in the dark woods. I can't see anything. Turn on a massive flashlight. Or, oh, I'm just gonna go make a campfire and I hear noises. I'm gonna keep the campfire going. Like, no, like, I don't think people understand that when it's pitch dark in the forest, it's like nothing can be seen. I don't know why I had English issues there, but like no one can see anything. It's pitch black. There's no city lights, no light pollution, nothing. Maybe moonlight on a lucky day. Like, dude, any light makes you so visible. That's why it's scary. The idea of traveling at night in a forest? Nope, couldn't be me. Nope, nope, nope. I'm not talking camping. I'm talking like just traveling. Nope, nope, nope. Because you can't see anything, but everything can see you. Nope, absolutely not.
shut the door because they don't know what animals are out here and they want to play it safe. So they're sitting inside their windowless little dark cabin and they start feeling pretty hungry. And they decide they want to boil some water to make food, but they don't have any water. Normally, when any of these guys went out to fetch water, they would go by themselves. The spring was not very far away from their cabin. They just walk out, scoop some water up, and come back. But because they were all feeling pretty uneasy and they didn't know what this big animal was that was in their general vicinity, Fred, along with one of the other men whose name was Hank, decide to go together and to bring their rifles just in case. Fred and Hank begin walking over to this stream that was only about 100 meters away from where they were. The moon was out, so there was a little bit of light coming from that, but it was mostly dark. And they're walking over to this stream. Then all of a sudden, Hank stops and raises his rifle up at the side of this embankment that was totally forested all the way up the side of the valley. Fred looks where Hank is aiming, and immediately he can tell what he's looking at. Standing a couple hundred meters up this mountain is this creature that's very tall, standing on two legs. It appears to be hairy, that's poking its head around a tree, and it's looking at them. They could only see it because the moon was casting light directly on it, so it was totally illuminated.
Ooh.
As soon as Fred recognizes what they're looking at, the creature ducks back behind the tree. At the same time, Hank fires 3 shots in its general direction, and then there's silence. And then all of a sudden, it comes barreling out from behind the tree and is running straight down the mountain towards them while whistling over
Okay,
its
dude, that footage kind of scared me. I was like, what the... Okay, yeah, no, this is really like, no, I don't like this story.
Shoulder, looking like it's communicating with something behind it. Hank starts firing in its direction. It's clearly not striking this creature, but at some point the creature disappears. They don't know where it went.
What?
It's dark out. The only way they could see it before was because the moonlight happened to illuminate it. Now they don't know where it is. Fred and Hank abandon the water idea and they run right back to the cabin. They jump inside, shut the door, and they start barricading the door shut. The other men are like, what the heck is going on? And they start explaining what happened. They didn't know if it was a person or if it was this creature. They heard that whistling sound. All the guys are spooked. And now they're barricaded inside of this tiny cabin, and it's totally dark. There's no windows. So they can't even see what's going on outside of the cabin. And so they just had to sit there and hope that this creature does not come anywhere near them. After a long period of total silence, the men start to feel like, okay, whatever that was, it's not coming back. It's late at night. Let's just try to get some sleep. And so the men all lay down and
yeah, I'm sorry. There's no way I'd be able to... Oh my god. Yeah, there's nothing you can really do in that situation because the odds are they're probably stalking you. I mean, let's be honest. If this is a real story and this is a real animal, but whatever it is, right? I mean, odds are the animal probably is trying to hunt you because no normal animal that does not want to hunt you would just chase after you. Like, that's just fairly obvious.
Doze off to sleep. Then at some point in the middle of the night, something smashes into the side of the cabin, causing them all to wake up. Hank's yelling out because a piece of wood that actually made up the cabin had come loose from whatever had hit the side of the cabin and fallen onto him. So the group gets up. There's a little bit of light coming through this now, a little crack in the wall from where this wood plank came out. They can see what's happening now. There's a little bit of light inside. They run over, they get this plank off of Hank, and as they're trying to kind of make sense of this chaotic moment, they start hearing what sounds like lots of people running around the outside of their cabin. Hank, who was closest to this little slat that had been created from one of the planks.
These sound effects are just diabolical, dude.
just turns his head to look out the slat. Because of the moon, there was a little bit of illumination, and when he looked out, he was horrified because he saw 3 creatures, these tall, ape-like creatures, the same one that Fred and Hank had been shooting at up over at the valley before. They're standing
Yep, they're being hunted.
10-15 meters away from the cabin, standing upright, looking at the cabin. They're holding these small boulders in their hands.
Oh.
And as Hank is looking through the slat, he's trying to get a little bit closer to get a better look. One of the creatures bends down and sees that Hank is looking at him, and he winds up and throws the boulder and smashes against this little slat. Hank basically falls over because he's trying to avoid this boulder being thrown at him, but the slat was small enough that it didn't go through.
Yeah, okay, if this, oh my god, the creature can pick up boulders, you're dead. You're dead. There's no way these people live. I don't believe, well, obviously they did because they're telling the story, but ridiculous. My comment is, even if these were, like, I just want to say this, even if these weren't, like, these ape-like creatures, imagine if these are gorillas. That's still terrifying, like, oh, I just thought, gorillas scare me, bro. Why did you start, oh, dude, no, absolutely not. They're just too alpha, I guess, is the way to describe it. It sounds so cringe to say it like that, but, like, they're way too aggressive and, like, territorial. Anyway, they're off topic.
Telling the rest of the men that there's 3 of them. There's 3 of them. They're right there. The men are grabbing their rifles. They're getting ready to aim out of the slat to try to take a shot at one of these creatures. But by the time they have a sight picture, there's no one out there.
Oh,
except they hear these footsteps, and they start hearing whistling coming from the other sides of the cabin where they have no way of seeing
Dude. Stop with the eagle screeches. I know it's supposed to be whistling. That's not whistling.
Going on because there's no windows, and that gap in the cabin was only facing one way. And so they just sit there in silence as they hear all this whistling and footsteps and shuffling happening outside of their cabin. Then all of a sudden they hear slamming against the one door that leads into the cabin. They had barricaded the door already, so they go up and they're pressing back against the barricade as whatever is outside is trying to break into the cabin, but it can't get through the barricade. When they couldn't break in the front door, there was a barrage of these boulders smashing into the cabin. Now, these men had built the cabin. They knew it was sturdy, but they didn't know if it could withstand boulders hitting it. And so for hours, these rocks and boulders are smashing into the cabin. They never see them again through that slat. They kept periodically looking, and there was never any creatures that were on that side. It was like the creatures knew that they could be seen on that side, but couldn't be seen elsewhere.
Dude,
Finally,
yeah, these guys are
stops,
intelligent.
and they sit down in the middle of the cabin. Fred was sitting in such a way that he could actually see the slat in the cabin that was now open and exposed. And as he's sitting there, Fred is horrified when he sees a hand slide into the cabin. A hairy, big ape hand that reaches in and starts fumbling around, grabs hold of an axe that was leaning up against the inside of the cabin. And as it's getting ready to pull it out, Fred runs over and twists the axe so it won't slide through the slat. And so the creature's slamming the axe, trying to get it out at the same time that Hank takes a shot and shoots right through the slat. The creature releases it and runs away. They hear all this whistling very close to their cabin, which made them realize that they had just been quietly waiting outside of their cabin. They had never left. But after Hank had taken that shot at the thing's hand, it sounded like almost a stampede was running away off into the forest. And at that point, the group was fairly certain that it was done. The next morning, when they saw through that slat in their cabin that the sun had finally come up, the men packed only the bare necessities. They got their weapons. When they finally opened up that door, all over the ground, all around the cabin were these rocks that clearly had been thrown at the cabin.
Dang,
the cabin itself had obviously withstood the barrage, but there was gash marks and slashes all over it. Feeling very lucky, the men start making their way out of the valley, and they make their way all the way back.
Alright, but here's the real question. Were there footprints? And most importantly, did anyone go to that area that was a scientist? I wish, if the story is true, which I honestly could, I don't know if it's believable necessarily, but I'm willing to believe it. This is like, dude, like, what a great world it'd be if there's scientists that went there, camped there for a day or two. Oh my god, then history would change.
And after the story kind of went viral, loads of people went out there
to
find these creatures.
1920 things go viral, bro. Come on.
No one ever could.
Oh wow, okay. Well, yeah, I mean, they said they were there for like 6 months or something. They never saw anything like that until that day. So I mean, it's kind of suspicious. I don't know.
In December of 1981, Mike Woolley decided he wanted to go deer hunting in his hometown in Louisiana. It was a cold day, it was great conditions for a hunt, and Mike had a deer stand that was set up about 1.5 miles down this old logging road that no one really used. He would take his truck and he would drive about halfway down that road, and then he'd get out and he would walk the remaining, half mile, 3/4 of a mile to his deer stand, because if he drove his truck in, he would scare away all the deer. He made it to his deer stand by about 3 p.m. that day, and he'd only been there for about 30 minutes when all of a sudden this young doe comes running across and stops right in front of his deer stand. The doe lays down.
What's a doe? Okay, well, time to research. Young doe. Sounds like a rapper name. Yeah, I mean, it literally looks like that's, young doe. Oh, it's a deer? A baby deer is called a doe. Okay. Okay. The more you know. Dude, I hate how I said okay.
And it's clearly exhausted, and Mike would say that it looked like something was chasing it, and he assumed it was some huge buck. And so Mike's getting ready for this big buck to emerge, when out of the corner of his eye, he sees something pretty big jump out of a tree. And he kind of turns his head and looks, and it's not a buck. It looked like a gorilla. He thought, okay, a gorilla must have gotten out of the
crazy.
zoo. But then he's thinking to himself, there isn't a zoo around here, and there's no circus around here, so it can't be an escaped gorilla. And then he was like, okay, someone...
Gorillas are in circuses? I did not know that. The more you know. Also, dude, like, where are gorillas normally found? I think it's, probably Brazil or somewhere around there. Gorilla normal... Flexing's crazy. Normal habitats. Central Africa. Okay. Huh. Okay. It's interesting. Probably gonna forget that information. That's a sad reality. Is like 99% of what I'm watching or researching the stream. I'm not gonna remember it. It's just how it is. My brain forgets fast.
Must have put on a gorilla suit to stop me from deer hunting. They're out here to try to get me to leave this spot. They're anti-deer hunting, and so they're here to screw with me. And so Mike, believing that was the case, he starts yelling to them, take off your mask. This isn't okay. This isn't funny. I have a license to be here. You can't be here. You need to leave. Like, get out of here. And so this thing that he believes is a person wearing a gorilla suit just completely does not react. It's just standing looking at him. And it's about 15 or 20 meters away from him at this time, and it's just staring at him. It's on 2 legs. Mike starts to feel uneasy because he's thinking to himself, if this is somebody in a gorilla suit that's trying to get me to leave, wouldn't
You know how creepy that is to think, though? If this was a person in a gorilla suit, how creepy it is that they're just wandering the forest, like, in a gorilla suit. Do you know, this, like, it's not, like, I don't know, it's like the idea of being in the forest with some deranged man, that, like, clearly a normal person wouldn't go in a gorilla suit wandering the forest. The idea of a deranged man is so creepy to me in the middle of the forest, because what are you going to do, call the police? They're not going to solve the problem. Are you going to get help? Well, if you're with a group of people, maybe, but like, if you're by yourself, you're cooked. Deranged men is the #1 biggest fear of me if I ever was in the woods by myself, which, by the way, I am not going in the woods by myself, ever. Never. There's no reason to do that. I'm not talking about like, oh, I'm gonna go on a trail. No, I'm talking like going in the woods alone, like just wandering, looking for food or whatever. I don't know. Unless there's a survival situation and I needed to hunt, I am not going in the woods alone at any time of the day.
Right now, announce that and say you need to leave. They wouldn't just stand there doing nothing. And so Mike, even though he knew it was gonna probably escalate the situation, raises up his rifle in the direction of this person to use his scope to basically zoom in on this person and get a better look. And when he raises his rifle and he zooms in, he immediately knows that this is not a person wearing a mask. Steam was coming off of its face like it had been running. I mean, it was 30 degrees outside. And he said he could see its nostrils flaring like it was out of breath, or that perhaps it was angry. He didn't know. Even though it wasn't a person wearing a mask, it looked very human-like because it had human teeth, flat teeth.
Oh,
that's human eyelashes. And just the general structure of its face appeared to be human. And he thought to himself, is this a feral human? Is that possible? Is this a person that has been born and raised in the wild?
That'd be crazy.
So as he's pointing the weapon at this creature, looking through the scope, just totally dumbfounded. Mike has no intention of shooting at this point. He really just wanted to stare at it. The creature roars, and Mike describes it as like a lion's roar.
Dude, these sound effects are just wild. There's no... I guarantee a lion does not roar like that. Like, dude.
The creature roars,
Say that again.
and Mike describes it as like
That is not a lion does not roar like that. No way.
Lion's roar. This thing was suddenly really upset with Mike. And Mike believed later on that it was because he raised his weapon at this thing. As soon as it roars, Mike said that about 100 meters in the other direction, he hears this really loud, piercing whistle coming through the forest. As soon as that whistle comes through the forest, the creature that was still growling stops and turns its head.
Okay, see, now suddenly I'm more likely to believe these stories. And the reason why I say that is because both of these stories, even though they're 60 years apart, happen to have the same details. You're early? No. They have the same detail of them whistling. So, and if they're 60 years apart, odds are the guy in the 1981 probably doesn't know the story of the one in 1924. That's all I'm gonna say. If both stories add up with the same details, it instantly is more believable. Just how it goes.
In the direction of this whistle. And it whistles back. And so Mike, I mean, the hair on the back of his neck is standing up. He knows they're communicating, probably about him. And as he's realizing this, he lowers his weapon and he's looking at the creature in front of him who's whistling and looking in the direction of this way. And then that creature snaps back and looks right at Mike. And as he's wondering what he should do next, another creature walks out of the tree line and stands right next to the first creature. And the way it walked, it was walking like a human. It was on two legs.
Nope.
And they're both standing about 20 meters away looking to...
Your meat size will surprise you. I measured. Why am I reading this? Well, like, dude. Wow. 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 I don't even care about people's meat size. Like, I'm always just gonna assume people are lying. Even if they aren't, like, who cares? It's like, whatever. 8 inches since 3rd grade. Okay. Yeah. Well, I don't know why I thought it would be anything near legit.
Directly at Mike. Mike is terrified. And he would say that he knew that he had to make a run for it. And so he leaps from his stand and starts running towards his truck, which is about a half mile away. And he said as soon as he did, he could tell that one of them at least started sprinting after him. And he looked over his shoulder as he's running towards the logging road, and he sees that one of the creatures is running parallel to him.
Oh my god, I've seen this footage. And I remember, it was, what was the guy that made a Burger King foot lettuce? I forgot his name. Chills. It was Chills. Chills made a video where he claimed this footage was a Bigfoot wearing a suit and tie going to work. That was the most ridiculous explanation of any footage I've ever seen in my life.
Easily running as fast as he is. It's choosing to stay, 5-10 meters away from him, but running in step with him the whole way. It's like it's forcing him to leave the forest. And so Mike is running, waiting to get attacked by this creature. He finally gets to his truck, he clambers inside and shuts the doors, and he looks out of his window and he sees the creature just standing there looking at him from the trees. He looks in his rear view and he sees that the other creature had also...
That footage that looks like something from like 1980s movie, like poor, like, not CGI, because they didn't have that really, special effects.
Also been running after him on the logging road, that the two of them had basically herded him to his car. It was an intelligent move. Mike believes that because he raised his weapon at that first creature, that triggered a series of events that led to them chasing him out of the woods. He said that he was the aggressor, not the other way around. We don't know if either of those stories are true, but certainly they are terrifying. So I'd love to get your reaction to these two stories in the comments.
I'm gonna be honest, these stories are honestly like a lot more believable than I suspected. Ooh, dude, I want to watch this so bad. Teens terrorized by creature in the forest. That sounds like a great watch, but I have better things to watch. Well, not better, actually. I don't know. Overall, I mean, my stance on Bigfoot at the end of this is not much different. I'm still skeptical to believe it, and I don't get why people are going in my comment section telling me how it's real, you're an idiot. It's like, dude, it's like, not confirmed a myth, but I just thought it was common knowledge that's not really real, or at least to be skeptical of it. It's like saying that the megalodon is real. That's how I see it. Or like, oh, dinosaurs are real. It's on that level. Like, you know, it's just like it's kind of very small chance that's true. If it is, it's like, wow, that's a huge discovery. The Yeti is more real. Oh, dude, I forgot Yetis. I don't know about Yetis. I know nothing about them. You should react to My Dream Garden by Mr. Who's the Boss. No. I'm not gonna. Mr. Who the Boss? Wait, who's that? Oh, is that the? Oh my God, I'm kind of upset about that because I didn't even know he existed until a couple months ago. Basically, Mr. Who the Boss, obviously has a channel name similar to mine. So obviously, if you search up Paul the Boss, it's more. I don't know if this is true. I have not tried it, but I'm assuming they'd probably recommend Mr. Who the Boss first. But who really knows? I've heard that YouTube's search engine is kind of like Google's, where if you type in things like long video, it's more likely to put things up like that too. I didn't know that, but apparently that's how it works. So next time I search something up, whatever, it doesn't matter. I'm watching this. YouTube's darkest videos featuring by Blame. I don't know what his name is. There we go.
The dark side of YouTube. A place that I probably frequent far too often for my own good. But I've fallen in love with the search for finding the most twisted...
I mean, yeah, by the way, how do you find the darkest stuff on YouTube? I think the darkest thing I've seen on YouTube, let's think. Well, it's probably one of the creepypastas, in my opinion. I used to be a, big, creepypasta idiot, and that just traumatized me because I was, 13 when that happened, so I'm still really bad with horror, so to me, this stuff is really hard to digest. It's I'll even just Reddit reads, right? You see these people have AI speak over, Reddit stories. That gets me creeped out. It literally sometimes makes me so creeped out that it's hard for me to sleep. And I'm 18, bro, and I'm still freaked out about that. I think the idea is just whenever you hear a story where it's oh, this guy was waiting under the bed with a knife. And then she heard a guy breathing when she went into the bed. It's what if that's happened to me in real life? Alright, off topic completely, but why are you reacting to spooky videos? You're an emo kid. Okay, bro. It's just not. I just find these interesting. There's nothing wrong with watching them. Okay, whatever.
Channels on the site, as evident from my series called YouTube's Darkest Channels. But in these haunting corners, I often find myself stumbling upon one-off videos whose origins are both deeply disturbing and entirely mysterious. And today we'll be deep diving into 3 in particular that have proven to be just a few of YouTube's darkest videos.
I don't want to watch this, but I'm going to.
3, 2, 1.
I just want to comment this. Okay, I know it's gonna sound stupid, but radio voices, or voices from the radio, or even just music, there was a certain quality of microphone or something where it feels like music, and anything back 1960s or before has certain all these people sounded somewhat similar. That voice creeps me out. If you played 1920 music over just randomly in a game with no context, I'm probably would get creeped out. Well, not necessarily, but yeah, no context, yeah, probably. I don't know. I just feel the mic, for example, when I heard this stupid little guy, the announcer for the Rocket, it's ooh, that voice guy's unsettled me. That's stupid. But it's true.
At its most successful, we have produced some of mankind's greatest accomplishments.
It's one small step for man.
But with these inspiring victories came tragic failures.
Challenger, go at throttle up.
Damn.
There's little room for error when attempting to visit space, and oftentimes the failures are catastrophic, to the point where they
I think the thing that shocks me the most is that we actually were able to get to space. Not only that, but bring people back alive and to be able to touch the Earth. The idea you can land a rocket. Well, they didn't land a rocket. I'm pretty sure they just I have no clue what they did, honestly. I know they probably dropped in the ocean, is my guess. There's no way they landed in like actual land. I don't believe that. But I'm oblivious to this because I actually never bothered really knowing this. But even then, it's still impressive. However they did, it's impressive nonetheless because it's already hard enough to get up there. But just the idea of getting a rocket safely down, not even rockets, humans down, is just wow.
Can't be hidden from the public eye. But oddly enough, perhaps one of the greatest disasters in the great pursuit of space is likely one that many of you haven't heard of, and that's because in large part, it may have been covered up. It happened back in February 1996 at the Xichang Satellite Launch Center in China.
I think I've heard of this.
An American company named Space Systems, in collaboration with Chinese scientists, had built a telecommunications satellite that was set to take off on the 15th of the month, with China having built and produced the rocket itself. The satellite would be known as Intelsat 708 and was set to orbit Earth for 15 long years. An estimated lifespan that would turn out to be far too generous, as in actuality, its trip would only last a mere 15 seconds.
Damn.
On the 15th of February, 1996,
Wait, but they said it was a satellite. Okay, well, I can see how that's dangerous, though. Obviously, a satellite falling onto Earth is dangerous.
Times would publish an article titled "China Rocket Crashes to Earth.
Oh, the rocket.
Fatalities Reported in Space Program Setback." The story went on to read, the newly developed Long March 3B rocket carrying the Intelsat Inc. satellite veered towards the ground and exploded moments after liftoff at 3:01 a.m. Hong Kong radio said 4 people were killed and dozens were injured in the explosion, but Shang Lui, a spokeswoman for the Government Aerospace Agency, said that there were no deaths.
Okay, well, I don't, do I say this? Obviously, China's going to try to cover it up. I mean, they try to do that all the time. They're trying to cover up their issues, like, oh, well, we're actually fine.
It's a devastating scene to imagine, however, as the rocket was said to weigh roughly 900,000 pounds and would have produced a violent explosion. But the early conflicting reports in the death toll were initially a promising sign, as the one official source had claimed that there were no fatalities.
Oh, okay.
However, this number would later be changed after investigation, as Chinese officials reported that, in the end, 6 people had died as the result of the satellite's crash, along with a whopping 57 others having suffered minor injuries.
Damn.
In the grand scheme of things, it was a tragic event, but with the information presented by the government, it seemed safe to say that things could have gone a lot worse, and that's because they likely did. When on site, the group of Americans would wind up filming the entire event in a recording that has now found a home on YouTube. And
how do you find this? Like, the title is so obscure, so even if you searched up, like, I don't know, like, footage of Chinese rocket launching, right? You're not finding this because this guy titled it so weird. It's got 21,000 views. Like, dude, you're not finding this. This is crazy.
Thanks to this video, we have a visual of just how horrific the incident truly was.
Oh, how does that even happen? It's like a missile. Oh my god, it's just... Oh. Oh my god.
It's a devastating explosion, and one that created such a powerful shockwave that all the glass in the surrounding area had shattered.
Damn.
Something that can actually be heard moments after the crash.
Oh, that's what that was?
And this isn't the only angle shown in the video either, as someone in a nearby town had been recording as well.
This got published on YouTube as well? Oh my god. That is so, like, unsettling to watch.
This angle shows the rocket striking incredibly close to where the person was filming, But what it failed to show is that not only had this rocket crashed, but it had crashed directly in the center of what is believed to be Maylin Village, an area that was said to be home to well over 1,000 civilians.
Oh, wow.
Seeing the massive explosion and knowing it happened right in the middle of a populated village leaves one to imagine how only 6 people had lost their lives, and things only get more suspicious as the video shows the destruction up close the following day.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, there's no way people are surviving that.
It's hard to put into words the level of ruin that this village was in following the crash. Buildings everywhere were not just damaged, but decimated, reduced to nothing but rubble. And it wasn't in a centralized location either, as the damage was spread out everywhere, making it unlikely that many would survive the ordeal had they been in the immediate area. Which begs that question, how had more people not died? This question has prompted many to wonder whether or not China had covered up the official number
Obviously
of
they
casualties
did. That's not the
in an
question.
attempt to not lose all credibility in their space program. A theory that is further brought into question by the fact that reporters were quickly taken away from the site, only to see dozens of ambulances, as well as flatbed trucks that some claimed were used to load the dead. Trucks that had gotten to the scene well before the Americans recording the ordeal were able to, which would have provided them ample time to remove any bodies from the area. However, despite the video emerging, and all the questions put forth, the official death toll has never been changed by Chinese officials.
Obviously it's not
Yet in
going
the
to.
United States, experts have given their own estimates of the sheer magnitude of the catastrophe, as it's widely believed that anywhere from 200 to 500 people had perished as a result of the faulty satellite
Damn.
launch, with some experts even suggesting that the number is even higher. And just watching this infamous video, it's not hard to understand why. But unfortunately, it's likely we'll never know how many people died that
I
day.
just don't get how do you make a rocket and like I don't know how it works, but like you'd think that like there's no way it would just immediately go straight diagonally. Like, dude, that's just like you messed up something major to have that happen. Because that just like it literally was in like 3 seconds already going like a missile. When I say that, I mean it's not going straight up, it was going like immediately like to the side. Like that's just a little suspicious. I don't know. Not suspicious, but more just like excuse me, how did you mess that up? Seems like something that would like if it was gonna crash, if it crashed like I don't know, it was like 40 seconds in the air and then it started being weird. Okay, that's like or whatever. But dude, I don't know. Something about that just seems like dude, these people are not good.
As Chinese officials have held firm on their death toll, claiming the area had actually been evacuated before impact, though this claim is
What?
heavily disputed to this day. And it's made
Why
even
would they
more difficult
evacuate?
to find answers, as the village itself that's shown within this video technically doesn't even exist.
What?
According to a handful of first-hand accounts, after the incident, this entire village had simply vanished, with there
What?
being, quote, virtually no trace of it having ever existed.
What?
In the end, we're left with countless unanswered questions, and
Yeah,
this
seriously, how do you find this video? This guy, dude, like this, he has 27 subscribers, so it's not like people are like, you know, like, oh, notification gang, bro, I found it. Like, no, this is, how do you find this? I don't get it. I don't get, it's like, dude, I don't have words. I don't have words. It's impressive.
chilling YouTube video of what may very well be the most devastating space-related disaster of all time, as it's likely we'll never see anything of this magnitude again. Or so I thought.
Wait, what? 2018? Oh. Oh, it's a satellite. Oh no, no. Oh jeez. That's also another one in 2018. Damn. Wait, what was the last one in? I don't remember. Oh, yeah, dude, they're both 2018. Dude, what? That's very, very, very bad. Why is their first instinct, by the way, to just go forwards towards it? Like, are you stupid? This goes your tax money? That's crazy. Oh my god. Another one? Oh my god. Sounds like there's a school there. Oh, jeez.
The following were all videos that have surfaced here on YouTube from China, showcasing other rocket launch failures.
It's probably a government plan. It's China. What do you expect? Yeah, but like, okay, but why would they want to destroy their own land? Like, I hate to say it, but even if you're like an incredibly ruthless communist, right? I'm not. Whatever. The point is, even if like let's just say we're gonna go into just Joseph Stalin days. He was a ruthless communist, right? Dictator. You know, obviously you're not gonna purposely kill off your civilians just because, you know, oh, I just want to. I want to show my power. Like, no, because you don't have power if you don't have people.
That again have decimated more towns. And these disasters have taken place very recently, with most having gone unreported on by Chinese officials. And had it not been for these YouTube videos, we would likely have no idea that these disasters had even happened.
That's scary.
It's very clear that China has been covering up many of these devastating failures, with it all likely having started back with Intelsat 708. So though for now this may likely be the most devastating space launch failure ever, it may not hold this title forever.
I'm gonna take a wild guess and assume he died.
Our next video takes us to Bosnia, which is home to some of the most famous and highest bridge diving competitions in the world. And though these events may seem reckless and risky, in actuality they are a commonplace, with TV networks even airing the competitions live, with little fear of capturing tragedy on live TV. And on August 7th, 2016, one of...
What do you think about the Challenger spaceship that exploded? Challenger, I don't remember that one. I don't know. I don't remember. I don't know my spaceships like that.
These televised events would go live as divers jumped from a 65-foot bridge in the river Drina.
65 feet, bro.
One of the top competitors entering the day was Andre Bue, a gold medalist diver with thousands of dives under his belt. And though the water was said to be a little chilly that day, conditions were otherwise perfect for the event, as Andre prepared to show off his skill to the crowd. And from the moment he leapt off that platform, he appeared to be in top form, hitting the water with his usual grace.
Okay.
Yet another stellar dive by the champion. Only this time, things would quickly go wrong.
I think the problem is why would you jump that high up into water? Hopefully they know how deep it goes. Like, imagine if it's only like 5 feet deep and you jump in there, you're dead. Oh, that's probably what happened too. Oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no. Oh. 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 Oh.
Andre can be seen on camera for a moment resurfacing from his dive, but almost immediately things go awry.
Is that blood? I
as
don't
his
know.
head submerges back under the water, disappearing into the murky depths. Soon after, we can see one of his arms briefly break the surface before going under again, this time disappearing completely.
Oh,
luckily, there was a rescue crew waiting on standby for a moment just like this.
Got pulled in by a Leviathan. I never could say the Leviathan. There we go. Sure, whatever. I don't know. The Reaper Leviathan. Say the word right. Leviathan, dude. Reaper Leviathan got him from Subnautica? No. I don't know. Imagine if the Reaper Leviathan... I'm done saying the word. Just imagine if the Reaper existed in real life. That would be I mean, I'm already terrified of the ocean. I'm not going to swim into any ocean where I can't see the bottom. I am not going there. But imagine if that was there. That's more of a reason to not go to the ocean.
As they drove their boats over to the struggling swimmer, but despite the large number of emergency staff, they all seemed hesitant to jump in the water, and it takes Andre's head resurfacing once again for the first lifeguard to enter the water.
Bro, they have life jackets. Why would you... Oh, dude. This guy doesn't even have a life jacket. You're like, I don't want to go in there. I understand, but also, why would you be in that position? I don't know if they're volunteering or getting paid. I don't care. Why would you be in that position where you are not jumping in immediately and you're a little scared to do your job? Like, don't even hire these people.
However, at this point, he was already gone. Andre, the championship diver, a man who has done countless other dives just like this, had vanished, and vanished to the point where emergency crews would eventually be called off. His lifeless body would be found days later down the river on August 11th, having suffered from multiple fractures as well as typical decay. The video would soon be posted to YouTube and picked up steam on local...
His family must sue them? I mean, yeah, I agree. I think you're talking about the, the rescuers? I kind of could agree with that.
And worldwide news outlets, with many wondering what could have happened to make this otherwise masterful diver lose his life on such a routine day, especially given that there seemed to be nothing in his near-perfect dive that would indicate a risk of injury upon hitting the water. And even if it hadn't been perfect, the large number of emergency staff should have been enough to prevent a tragedy like this. But despite them being on scene within seconds, not only was he not rescued, but his body would go missing for days. Despite the video being viewed over 1 million times, there still seems to be no concrete and accepted cause of death.
I mean, that's possible. I don't get why you'd ever do this. Like, dude, you're just, it's just like, I can't stand when people do stupid stuff, and this is one of those things where it's kind of stupid. I mean, you're just watching a man jump into a river, and you have to assume they know that there's how deep it is. You have to assume they do this all the time, but even then, there's still factors that can go wrong. I mean, all it takes is improper form, boom, you're dead. Or even just a belly flop. Imagine, like, doing a massive belly flop in this. You're like, that's gonna be horrible.
Which has caused several theories to pop up as to what may have actually happened that day. Some theorize that the cold temperature of the water had sent his body into shock, a note that is given some validity, as the emergency crew on hand would later give an excuse for not entering the water in a timely manner by saying that the water was, quote, too cold.
Oh, come on. That just makes me angry, because, like, dude, if it's too cold for you, why are you letting him jump in? Oh,
given
my
that they
God.
were paid professionals,
Oh, they're paid
hired
too?
specifically to rescue
that's even
helpless swimmers,
worse.
yet they were deterred by cold water.
Yeah, I
But this
doubt it.
shock theory doesn't fully add up, as multiple divers had already participated up until this point, and none had faced any issues whatsoever. And if the water was truly that cold,
Look at the cloudy weather. Why is there no sunny weather? I don't know.
one would imagine that they would have just canceled the event altogether, as again these were legitimate, professionally run events. Now perhaps the darkest theory put forth is that Andre was dragged below the surface by something in the water. This may sound ridiculous at first, but the River Drina is known to be inhabited by a species of fish called the Wells catfish. And these catfish are remarkably large, as they can reach sizes of over 9 feet long,
to the no.
with the heaviest ever being caught, weighing in at a staggering 330 pounds. And they are said to be extremely hostile, especially during mating season when males are guarding their nests. And coincidentally, the competition had taken place right at the end of their typical mating season. So it's entirely possible that when Andre jumped in the water, he landed in the vicinity of one of these protective fish, who would have then instinctively attacked, dragging him under the water and leaving him unable to swim back to the surface. This would explain why he seems to almost be sucked under the water, even looking behind him as if he noticed it coming towards him, as well as why the emergency response team was so hesitant to jump in after him. Plus, it would account for how his body had disappeared so quickly, and how they were unable to locate it until days after, with multiple fractures. And given the lack of protruding teeth that these fish have, the injuries that it would have left behind would be more akin to bruising and fractures, which were injuries that were supposedly prevalent on his body. And these facts are far from the only evidence to point to this cause of death, with the most damning coming from the video itself.
What?
When watching the clip, right as we see Andre's arm surface, for the final time, we can see what appears to be a fin breaking the surface just feet away from him. Many have speculated that this could be the tail fin of a giant Wells catfish, as it appears to be completely synchronized with Andre going under the water for the final time, leaving this as a very legitimate theory. But along with this, another major theory has been put forth, and that is the idea that Andre had suffered a broken vertebrae upon entering the water. The news site Telegraph actually reported this as the official autopsy's cause of death, but the validity of this claim is shaky, as it offers no citations, as well as being the only news site to report this information, despite universal coverage of the case. But we do know that his body did have multiple fractures when it was found, though the location of it has yet to be confirmed.
What?
And with that being said, a broken vertebrae is a risk for any diver, and it would
Yeah,
have
why
limited
would you-
him from being able to keep his head above water,
Why would
even
you
as
jump with
a
a broken
experienced
vertebrae?
professional. But as mentioned previously, nothing seemed,
Okay, I need to comment on this footage.
even as a experienced professional.
Dude, that's way too close. Oh, God.
But as mentioned
Oh, they're like almost on top of each other. Oh.
previously, nothing seemed off in his diving form, and had he actually suffered from vertebrae fractures once hitting the water, he likely would have lost all feelings in his limbs, rendering him unable to move. Yet he was able to hold his head above water and move his arms during the ordeal, so either they had fractured a specific way that was potentially made worse when he started to move, causing him to go limp, or this theory is a dead end. Whatever the case may be, the event and the subsequent video footage remains a chilling mystery. Andre's family has since sued the response
Imagine
team for
landing in
negligence.
the
And while
water with
there's
your
no way-
stomach. Well, yeah, that's what I was saying. A belly flop is. I don't know if people actually call it that. Do they? I don't know. Who knows? But like, imagine if you did that. Yeah, you'd be in so much pain, incredible amount of pain.
To be sure, it's more than likely that a faster response time would have at the very least recovered his body in a timely manner and given the family and the world of diving answers and some much needed closure. But whereas Andre and his family likely would have never guessed his life would end that day, our final video showcases a subject that may be alluding to her own impending fate.
I don't know if I'm ready to see this, but alright.
This is Oh In Hai, a 36-year-old Korean actress turned beauty YouTuber, a beloved and at times controversial celebrity from South Korea. And the video you're watching now follows the typical mold of many others across her channel, as she frequently shared beauty tips in the form of vlogs. However, this video came with a twist, due to the fact that it would prove to be the last she'd ever post, as just 2 days upon going live, she would be dead, leaving behind a grieving family, thousands of heartbroken fans, and what some would claim to be a cryptic set of
I think,
clues.
you know, I just gotta say this. I'm not ready to get older because one of the downsides as you grow in age and time passes, more and more people that you know will leave your world. In other words, die. And I'm not ready for that because it's probably gonna start happening in the next 10 to 20 years. That's gonna be a situation where I'm just gonna be like, oh God. I can't imagine being like 70 and basically everyone you know is gone except for like some people. Like that's just depressing. Like imagine living a life where it's like everyone's dying that you know, most people you used to know are dead and you know, you're basically dead. It's like, oh, that just sounds horrible. Oh, like oh my God. Did the narrator hit puberty? I don't know.
It was the night of September 13th, 2020, when a friend of Oh In Hai checked in on the actress, only to find her
I think she followed those soap mukbangs when reality she ate a lot of soap and okay, dude. Oh, dude, that's a weird theory. Why would anyone ever eat soap?
Conscious in her home. Medical personnel were called, but by the time they reached the hospital, she had no pulse. And despite having been revived for a short period of time, she would sadly pass away on the morning of September 14th. The investigation that followed was a quick one, and equally as vague, with officials hastily stating that the actress had taken her own life, something that would be confirmed via autopsy the following day, with her official cause of death being cardiac arrest from a suicide attempt. Although details from this autopsy would never be released, and no further context was provided.
Yeah, I mean, there's like, how? I'm assuming pills? I don't know.
Leading to the story being forgotten, as many have accepted In-Hai's death as an open and shut case. However, despite the autopsy being released, online speculation had only just begun, as internet sleuths began to notice a number of oddities, especially in regards to her social media use in the days leading to her death. And it all seemed to begin with that final video titled In-Hai's Nightly Routine Skincare.
She looks hot, by the way.
The video itself was labeled as Volume 48, something she did chronologically with every video she uploaded. But strangely, In-Hai had made an error with this final video, as her previous upload was 45, so naturally this video would have been Volume 46 instead of 48.
Oh, dude, I don't know if I want to watch this because it's just gonna be stupid, dumb stuff. Like, really, people are that like, oh, she skipped 3. Like, dude, it's not that serious.
Minor detail to nitpick, but it gets even stranger from here. As the video plays, things take a sudden turn as a jarring glitch unfolds on the screen. A glitch that begins 48 seconds in and ends at the 1 minute and 46 second mark.
즉흥적으로 해보려고 카메라를 켰습니다. 아 시원해.
I don't know if I'm ready for this glitch.
진짜
okay, that's not really a glitch.
리얼로 보여주려고 정말 평소에 쓰는 나이트 케어가 어떻게 되는지 순서도 지금 즉흥적으로 제일 첫 번째는 토너를 화장솜에 묻히고 닦아내야겠다.
Okay.
The video of In-Hai randomly begins to buffer for nearly an entire minute in a bizarre and
well,
disturbing
yeah,
manner.
I mean, it's not really a buffer because if it was a buffer, then you wouldn't hear the voice. So that seems like it's edited in purpose. I would just assume. I don't know. If everyone has seen it, then it seems like it's purposeful.
As it gives the illusion of In-Hai chopping at her neck over and over and over again.
Oh, I didn't even think of that.
Even more strangely, despite the audio track being consistent throughout this strange glitch, around the 92-second mark, you can hear what appears to be another voice come in.
아시죠?
It seems unnaturally high-pitched.
Dude, I don't know. This is so weird. Because now it's just like, okay, so she's hinting she's gonna kill herself. Why would you do that? Why would you just not outright, like, just say it? I don't know. It's weird. Oh, it's the hairbrush she edited in. Okay, bro.
And clearly was not part of the original audio track. According to multiple reports online, this unexplained voice supposedly says something that roughly translates to, "I'm going to die," though some have countered this claim, stating that this translation was a reach. Around the 103rd second mark, another unnatural voice can also be heard, though to my knowledge, a direct translation hasn't been found.
What?
And immediately following the strange soundbite, the video begins to play normally, as if nothing happened. It's an error that lasts no more than a minute, yet the clock in the background of the video skips forward 3 to 4 minutes, potentially casting doubt on the idea that this could be an error within the video file itself.
What? Wait. You're telling... Oh, dude, you took the inefficient method to do this. Oh, come on. You're telling me...
On the idea
you filmed yourself,
that this could be...
Oh my god, you filmed yourself, like, using a comb over and over and over instead of just editing the same clip over and over and over? Why would you do that? You could have just... Oh my god, you could have just used the same clip and... there's no way. That's idiotic. Yeah, that's... I mean... whatever. It's whatever.
An error within the video file itself. All in all, this entire section of the video is off-putting. And In-Hai herself even addresses this by adding, "Please skip over the buffering parts," in parentheses at the end of her title. Despite the clarification, it's hard to ignore the movements she makes during this. I mean, she's repeatedly chopping at her neck for a whole minute.
It doesn't look
and
like it's
couple this with
buffering.
a supposed disembodied voice seemingly saying, "I'm going to die." Something about this video just wasn't adding up. As, after all, looking through her channel, every one of her other videos are cleanly edited and filmed in a professional manner. And going through her catalog reveals no major editing flaws. Yet this minute-long error in the beginning of a video made the final cut. Something seems very off here, especially given the fact that just 48 hours later, Owen High would be dead. And though this may just be a coincidental glitch, I struggle to believe that an error like that could cause these strange voices, especially when those voices are pitched differently, and that one might be saying, "I'm going to die." But if it wasn't a buffering error, then that means it would have been done intentionally, which is incredibly important to note given that Owen High was her own video editor for this particular video. She had sole control over its production, meaning she would have been the one to orchestrate this, which leaves the big question, why? Well, many have pointed to the idea that Owen High was alluding to her own death within this video, as just 48 hours later she would be found without a pulse. A time that is noteworthy, considering she had mistakenly numbered her video as—
That's crazy, the view difference. Like, it's 105,000 views, 43,000 views, and then 2.2 million views. That's crazy.
48, despite it really being the 46th upload, along with the glitch itself beginning at the 48-second mark. And to add even more to the coincidence of this number, in her video prior to her last, she added these subtitles which feature the numbers 4 and 8, shown over and over again, which in the context of the video did actually translate to a relevant joke. However, it's strange regardless.
Well,
That
okay,
would make—
you can't call that strange if it's related to a joke.
one question whether she used the number 48 to symbolize her impending death, especially
Okay, I
given the
don't know.
movement of her comb and the morbid voiceover. And the theories don't stop from there, as there were even those who thought that this wasn't a clue to her impending suicide, but rather it was a hint at her impending murder. This theory stems from her last Instagram post, uploaded on the night of her death, that simply featured a photo of a flower, but the caption is what interests most, as it translated to, "I guess everyone is seeing this, even the person who said I'm just a body," implying a piece of meat, and saying it's not the wording that he can even use till the end. "I think I have to expose you because of that one phrase. I didn't want to believe anything else that came out of that mouth."
Hell?
Tagged in the post was a prominent lawyer and frequent social media user named Hu Wang, a man who, even to this day, we're unsure of what his relationship was to Owen High. Much like the video she had posted in the days prior, this caption was extremely out of the ordinary for Owen High, as typically her posts were positive and cheerful. And after an hour of confused fans questioning her, Owen High would delete the post altogether. Around this time, Wang would also delete all of his social media, having gone completely silent since.
That's
Quickly, it was
suspicious.
speculated that In-Hai was going to expose Wang for some type of misconduct, and in fear of losing his career, he went after her. This theory was backed up by testimony from In-Hai's own family, who upon seeing In-Hai in the hospital, noticed bruises all over her body, although this was likely a result of the hours of CPR that had been performed on her. Regardless of what the connection was, it is a bit odd that just one day after threatening to expose this popular lawyer, she was found unresponsive in her own home, and is again—
I just find it weird that she said a piece of meat. Like, who calls a person a piece of meat? That's just so weird.
made more convincing given her final video, making it seem like she knew what would happen to her if she came forward against him. However, in actuality, Wang was never even considered a suspect by police, and it has never even been proven that the two knew each other, making it unlikely that he had any involvement in her death. And in actuality, it seems more likely that this final Instagram post, and even this final video, really just hinted at In-Hai's declining mental health. Which brings us back to the idea that this video was made as a hint that she would take her own life. According to her own friends, In-Hai had spent years in a deep depression that stemmed all the way back in 2011. That year, she became enthralled in controversy when she wore a revealing dress at a Korean award show. And though this may seem like a minor detail, this would actually lead to her eventual blacklisting from the Korean film industry, as she would receive less and less roles until 2000.
You know, that's crazy, because if you did that in America, I think you'd get more roles. let's be honest, you'd get more money. You'd get more fame. Dude, that's crazy, the difference. It makes you realize, wow, America's just, it's freedom, but it is a lot of dirtiness behind it.
14, when she would cease appearing in films completely, becoming a universally hated person in the country she lived in. So it's understandable why she would have been in a very dark place mentally. And given the taboo nature of mental health in South Korea, she likely did not have resources for proper therapy or medication to help deal with these feelings. Something that could have escalated to her acting erratically, and maybe even sending out a cryptic call for help, with Wang potentially having said or did something that would prove to be the proverbial straw that broke the camel's back. Or at the end of the day, it could all just be a huge coincidence. As, after all, practically all the articles we could find on this case are far from reputable, and many of the strange details could, at the end of the day, be chalked up to as confirmation bias. Plus, we've seen many online claims that it's very likely the mysterious voices being heard were really just her voice sped up for a comedic effect, to make some sort of sarcastic joke. A note that is easy to miss as a non-native speaker. Whatever the true meaning of this video is, it serves as a dark spot in the world of YouTube, with it having been mysteriously removed once speculation began to arise for reasons that remain unknown, making it a cryptic yet fitting end to one of YouTube's
removed.
darkest
That's suspicious. Why is it removed? Who removed it? That's the real question.
videos.
I want to give a huge thank you to George for hopping on this video. If you aren't already subbed to
Blame
him,
it on George? Why do you spell George wrong? Or whatever. Dude, I'm not going there. Okay, he's got 1 million subscribers. Never heard of him. Alright. That was a good video. Ironically, the most normal cause for the last case is the scariest one. Being blacklisted from your dream job for wearing something slightly revealing, spiraling into deep depression for years, and having little to no mental health resources available seems like a nightmare in itself. She needed help and she never got it. The way celebrities are treated in Korea is a scary reality. Is it actually? I don't know. I just feel like celebrities in general get treated really poorly. Not poorly, but people have a just in general, okay? People have a perception that most celebrities have a perfect life. Nothing can go wrong. They don't view them as humans. They put them on a pedestal, not pedestal, on like like, I don't know. They basically like idolize the celebrities, and then it's been happening for years. It's not a new thing. It's not like the internet changed anything, but now the internet obviously makes it way worse because you can see more of their lives. And so it's like you have no privacy as a celebrity. People think they know you. You know, everyone's watching. It just, that sounds overwhelming. I could never. But at the same time, all that money. Ooh, that money. That money sounds good. I think for me, by the way, it's not like I want money, but I don't want like money because, oh, I want to buy all these things. I'm not an idiot. I like a lot of people who get a lot of money. They just spend on things just because they can. But to me, it's like the idea of being financially secure for life sounds so appealing. I don't know why I said it like that. It's so weird. I don't know, but anyway, that's a whole different topic. All right, that's all the videos I have for today. Hope you enjoyed. If you did, make sure to like and subscribe. As someone who lives in a basement, you sound smart. That's crazy. All right, bro, get out of here, bro. Skedaddle, bro. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. And with that, I'm gonna be gone. Peace.